Hey everybody, it is late at night and I am Norman. In celebration of 2,000 subscribers to the channel, I asked you to pick out the watch that I buy next. And all of your ideas were absolutely brilliant. And one of you suggested a Maven watch. Now it wasn't this exact piece, I kind of cheated. But when I saw this particular watch, I had to get it. So I bought a watch that to me looks bauhausy and has vintage proportions. Tonight we're going to do a full review of this watch. So let us begin. Alright, so here is the Maven MUS-03. This is a great, tough little watch. And I believe in my first impressions video I mentioned that the aesthetic the brand was going for was not at all what I thought. When I saw this watch, to me the design looked kind of bauhausy, sort of like you would see with youngins' watches where they're kind of technical looking dials, but I thought it was kind of a Bauhaus look. However, I believe this brand was taking a completely different inspiration. This was inspired by vintage military watches, and getting it in person I can kind of see that with this case. However, these lugs also look very Bauhaus to me. Yeah, kind of Stova Antia style, only everything is bead blasted. The case back also kind of gives away some of the military inspiration, but even now when I look at this watch, it looks more Bauhausy to me. And looking at this strap, this is a nice, soft strap. It feels high quality. We have some quick release spring bars there. There's some branding here. And this buckle is super cool. I don't think I've ever seen a buckle quite like that. That is awesome. And fortunately, this watch fits me perfectly, so I haven't had to swap that out as kind of a micro adjustment. I've been able to keep it on here. The branding on the buckle is pretty minimal. There's just the brand's logo there, just kind of a stylized M, lightly etched into it. And again, looking at these lugs, very utilitarian. Very Bauhausy. They're narrow though. This is a 16mm strap, but then again the watch itself is pretty small also at 34mm. As you can see, it's a quartz piece, so that bright white seconds hand is ticking away there, and it's a little bit distracting to me. This would be amazing as a two-hander, but yeah. Taking a closer look at the case back, at first glance, I thought it was a screw-down case back, but when you look really closely here, there are screws inset in there, so it's actually held in place by screws. We have MUS called out, the logo on there, stainless steel, water resistance, but I haven't seen that listed anywhere, so I'm guessing it's kind of dress watch water resistance. As I mentioned in the first impressions video, it has a sapphire crystal and a Swiss quartz movement in there. Very cool. And even though we won't be using this crown a whole lot, let's see what it's like to operate it. So we pop that out. We'll move these hands. There's some nice resistance to them. They move quickly around the dial. And this movement hacks. We'll get this around at 10 and 10 and pop it back in. Yeah, this crown feels very solid. And when you're pulling it out or pressing it back in, super clean click to it. Very nice. This is a tough little watch. With that bead blasted finishing on there, sapphire crystal, and being quartz. It's great because you can just kind of pick it up and go, and it's just ready for you. And for me, I have a lot of vintage mechanical watches, and it's kind of nice to not have to worry about future servicing. So having some quartz pieces here and there are just kind of low maintenance, no worry watches. There's some lume on these hands, so let's see how that performs. Ooh, look at that color. In person, it's a little bit more turquoise than it looks on video, but it's a great, kind of haunting color. It looks like it's fading fairly quickly. Yeah, not super impressive lume, but that's fine. I feel like this watch is almost tulle-y with a touch of dressiness to it just because it's so classy looking. So, not really a pure tulle watch where intense lume might be more important. I don't think that's going to bother me at all. As for the specifications on this watch, the case size is 34mm, the case height is 8mm, the lug to lug is 40mm, the lug width is 16mm, the crystal is sapphire, and the movement that's in this is some kind of Swiss quartz movement. Details on that were not listed on the website. I'll have to do some digging. Alright, so let me take off the Dolce Vita, and we'll see what the Maven is like when you're wearing it. Here is the MUS-03 on my 7-inch wrist. And that watch looks so great. All the black paired with that bead blasted finish makes it just look awesome. Kind of an industrial touch, but it's so classy looking. And I still feel like that looks bauhausy, but that could just be me. It's not the exact model that was suggested to me, so I kind of cheated. However, if it wasn't for your suggestions, I would have never found this watch. I had never really looked at Maven watches. I think I'd seen them come through on social media here and there, but never actually checked out the brand. So thank you so much for your suggestions. You made this possible. And it's a great pick up and go watch. It's tough, but kind of classy looking. That is so cool. So there you have it, my grab and go, surprisingly tough, kind of bauhausy looking Maven watch. Thanks for watching.